Love them or hate them, cars are, and will probably always be, some of the most sought-after items out there. And while some people buy them for practical purposes, there are more than a few car lovers out there who are willing to dish out some serious bucks for rare models. When you think about it, what are the first things lottery winners or insanely rich people buy? Unfortunately for many, some of the rarest and most beautiful four-wheeled machines are very much out of reach. But for those who were fortunate enough to accumulate enough wealth, expensive cars are an expense they don't mind having. Are you curious to learn what are the most expensive cars ever sold at auction? Let's take a look. Number 9, 1935 Duesenberg SSJ, $22 million. Opening this list is car that broke two records upon being sold at auction. The 1935 Duesenberg SSJ is the only American-made car to be featured on the top 10 of most expensive car ever sold. This makes the SSJ the most expensive American car to ever be sold at auction, as well as the most pricey pre-war vehicle sold under the same conditions. What exactly makes this car so special, you might ask? Well, perhaps the fact that it once belonged to actor Gary Cooper. It's also the oldest car on this list, proving that sometimes, the older the better. The 1935 model sold for $22 million in 2018 at the Gooding & Company Pebble Beach sale. Number 8, 1956 Aston Martin DBR1, $22.5 million. Unlike the previous entry on our list, even non-car lovers will definitely recognize this particular name. Aston Martin is a British manufacturer of luxury sports cars, known for producing some of the priciest models out there. It's no wonder that one of their models made its way to the top of the top. The Aston Martin DBR1 also broke the record for most expensive British automobile to ever be sold at auction when it reached a staggering selling price of $22.5 million in 2017, at the Sotheby's Monterey sale. It's an impressive model, and the current owner can brag about owning a car that was used for racing by some of the most extraordinary names in the book. Number 7, 1955 Ferrari 410S, $23 million. Oh yes, we're entering Ferrari land. This list might as well be fully dedicated to Ferrari cars, if it weren't for three outliers who made their way to the top. Even though the 1955 Ferrari 410S is the least expensive of the bunch, it still sold for an impressive $23 million by Rick Cole Auctions in 2014. Developed for the Carrera Panamericana in Mexico, the 1955 Ferrari 410S has become a staple among the most special and unique racing vehicles in the world. And judging by the price tag, we can't discard the probability that it also turns into a plane. Maybe a boat too? Or maybe it's just a really cool vintage car. Number 6, 1964 Ferrari 275 GTB C Speciale by Scaglietti, $26.4 million. Another amazing auction in the car department made in 2014 was that of the 1964 Ferrari 275 GTB C Speciale by Scaglietti. Everybody knows that when it comes to making price tags raise like crazy, there's nothing quite like exclusivity. And that's exactly the case for this Ferrari model. Sold in 2014 for $26.4 million at RM's Monterey sale, this automobile consists of only one among three of the same model that were produced with the aim of competing in the 1965's Le Mans 24 Hours. It's also worthy of note that the one sold for this price was the first out of the three to be produced. Exclusive, indeed. Number 5, 1967 Ferrari 275 GTB 4 *SNART Spider by Scaglietti, $27.5 million. Yet another Ferrari. Yes, we warned you about the staggering amount of racing cars produced by this manufacturer to be featured on this list. But hey, it's not anyone's fault that Ferrari sure knows how to make cars. They know how to make some serious profit as well, thanks to models such as this one. The 1967 Ferrari 275 GTB 4 *SNART Spider by Scaglietti was sold at auction in 2013 by Sotheby's for $27.5 million. Being one of only 10 models ever produced, it makes the case for exclusivity related to price even stronger. Plus, look how good it looks. Number 4, 1956 Ferrari 290 by Scaglietti, $28.05 million. Don't raise your eyebrows just yet. Yes, this model kind of looks like a giant version of the tiny cars everyone used to play when they were kids. It's the kind of model you'd expect to see featured in yet another spin-off of the beloved movie Cars, right? Well, we don't think Pixar would dish out that much for a character. The 1956 Ferrari 290 by Scaglietti sold at auction in 2015 by Sotheby's for an incredible $28.05 million, thus becoming the most expensive car sold under these circumstances in that year. And guess what? Only 4 of these babies were made. Number 3, 1957 Ferrari 335 Sport Scaglietti, $35.7 million. Back to Ferrari land it is. And we're now officially moving away from the $20 million mark, straight into $35 million and beyond. The first model to be featured in this price range is none other than the 1957 Ferrari 335 Sport Scaglietti. This is the kind of car you'd immediately think about when the words Ferrari and 50s are put together in the same sentence. It was sold at auction in 2016 by Art Curiel, Paris for $35.7 million, thus becoming the most expensive car ever sold at auction in Europe. The price tag has more to do with the icons of the racing industry that drove it than the vintage value. Number 2, 1962-63 Ferrari 250 GTO Berlinetta, $38.15 million. Have you noticed how much red this list has? Ferrari sure likes to be noticed. But hey, if there's a correlation between the color of the car and the price it sells for, you might want to head to your garage and give your dad's old vehicle a nice and shiny red paint job. The 1962-63 Ferrari 250 GTO Berlinetta is yet another red car that, at the time it was sold in 2014 by Bonhams, became the most expensive car ever sold at auction, at a staggering $38.15 million. However, it was eventually robbed of its title, and now has to be happy with the designation of second best. Number 1, 1962 Ferrari 250 GTO $48.4 million. And we've reached the top of the list. Guess what? It's a Ferrari. But you knew that, so let's get into the details. This beautiful 1962 Ferrari 250 GTO was sold in 2018 by Sotheby's for $48.4 million, officially becoming the most expensive car to ever be sold at auction. 39 cars of this model were produced by Ferrari, so it's far from being the rarest. However, it's definitely regarded as the absolute best classic racing car in the world. Now the question remains, will there ever come a car more expensive than this one?